Can you feel the pulse of something ancient calling you back home? What whispers when the world goes quiet? What if listening could change everything? Welcome to the Voice of Rituals. I'm Ramona Rudus, and this is your space to slow down, tune in, and reconnect. What if the clarity you seek isn't out there, but already within, passed down through generations, whispered by the earth, waiting to be heard and remembered? In each episode, we explore ancient rituals, modern mindfulness, and the art of simple, intentional living. Through meditations, oracle reflections, and soulful conversations, we'll remember what it means to live in rhythm with ourselves and the world. What if listening could change everything? Are you listening? Welcome, my loves. Welcome back to the Voice of Rituals. Today, I want to bring on a very specific subject, bridging the conventional medicine with the shamanic path. So many of us are walking through the healing journey, and this journey about our bodies, our mind, our diseases, and we forget that actually the real healing is to come back into the essence of who we are. To beneath all of this body, there is the soul knowing. And so, my guest today has actually walked this path with courage and grace. A woman who spent all her life studying, being curious about the body and mind and healing. She is a medical doctor, Diana Ferreira, and she has also weaved in the wisdom of shamanic, the nature, the elements, with the healing modalities of medicine. And through her own awakening at age of 35, she got the rare cancer. And through her own awakening, she have understood how to heal herself and sharing her wisdom of the essence unseen into the scene, into the world of medicine today. Let's bring her on into this sacred space so we can share some of these wonderful way of connecting to the elements, to the nature, to our own body and mind and breath. Taking a deep breath in from the Mother Earth and breathing out whatever is not serving us anymore. And with any overdue, let's bring Diana into the space. Hello, my darling Diana Ferreira. Did I pronounce right?
Yes, you pronounced it right perfectly. I'm
Oh,
so happy to be with you.
welcome, my darling. How are you? You look beautiful, shining.
Thank you. Same, you are shining as well, which is
Oh,
really beautiful to see.
thank you. Thank you.
I've missed you
I miss
since
you
our retreat
too.
together.
Yes, our beautiful walks. I miss it every night, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Well,
Exactly.
actually, to be honest with you, I feel that part of that week is still living inside of each one of us. It's like
Yeah.
reconnecting whenever I feel that I need it. Just close my eyes and I bring the pictures, a little bit like dolphins, and I miss them. I'm just with them. It's this
Yeah.
energy. I can't explain it, but it's just so beautiful. Thank you so much for accepting to come and have this beautiful conversation together. Diana, I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about what got you into the path of medicine. How did you get into
Oh,
doing?
thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for having me. It's really such a pleasure to talk to you, my sister.
Yes.
Um, so I'm really, really happy to be here. So yes, so I'm a doctor. I think I've always wanted to sort of contribute to a better world in some way, and I knew I wanted to work with people most of all. So I was actually in the beginning, I thought I would be doing something completely different, like more in the humanities sort of arts sort of fields. And then it occurred to me that actually medicine is sort of can be an art of taking care of people.
Yeah.
So I sort of joined two interests of mine, which was science and just being with people and really getting to know their stories. And when they are at the most vulnerable
Mm,
states, which always felt to me that those are the states in which you are more real as well and more open to
mm,
um, deep conversations, I would say, and really, accessing the reason why we're here. And I wasn't very interested in staying at the surface, so I'm actually not very good with small talk in general. It was just fascinating to me, getting to know people in all their domains, physical, but also getting to know their stories, their
mm.
spiritual beliefs, and yeah, what led to that particular moment. So
So
it's a long answer, but I think it's that I just like people, and it's just very interesting to me. Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful. And I can connect and call that it's that depth of soul that really connected us because we're very much similar. I am not at all in the small talk neither. I really like to dive deep and somehow our soul recognize each other. Because I also went through the path of the medicine. But then I got into the research and then changed completely 360 degree, becoming like the art of healing. You're right,
yeah,
absolutely. It's a beautiful art. And then you got into oncology, right? Just tell us
right.
a little bit
Yes.
about that.
So again, it's very similar. So within medicine, I started realizing that like you can specialize in very different things, right? So I wasn't very interested. Like I'm not, for example, an emergency room person. Everything happens too quickly, and you don't have a lot of time to speak with people, and everything is just fast and fast paced. And
Mm,
I knew, so it was, I guess, when I was a young doctor and I was at the wards and really taking the time to know people that um, that was what interests me, like getting to know their soul, as you said.
mm,
So I guess oncology just it's a special field because it's really when people hear about cancer
mm,
and here they have cancer
mm,
is it's just everyone is so scared of cancer, and whether we know it or not, there's such a huge association with suffering and death. So it just necessarily puts you into a vulnerable place,
mm,
and you need to really get into those deep conversations if you want to make some meaning out of that.
mm,
And that was really, again, really interesting to me because it's really not it's not easy, and most people I think just run away from fields like that. But for me it was the depth really that and the vulnerability that brought about in people that really um, interest me
mm.
at one point.
Yeah.
And that's why I practiced in oncology for a while. Yeah.
Mm, and it's so beautiful that you say it's true that when we become vulnerable, this is where the healing really happens, right? Many
Yeah.
of us search outside of our body, the physical, the mental. We feel like we want to get healed, and then we get out of there, out of our essence. And life throws back all these beautiful experiences to again come back into the wholeness, who we really are. So being vulnerable is one of the big part, and life had that for you. So you were quite young at the age of 35. You had the experience of cancer yourself. Can you tell us how that happened when the healer becomes patient, and how did you go by to heal that? I'm getting goosebumps
Um,
all over my body.
yes.
Ah,
Uh, yeah, I mean, it was so getting diagnosed with cancer when you're 35 is just very confronting because I guess I
hmm,
knew cancer happened, so it wasn't like it was a surprise to me that people get cancer. I think it was the age and the stage of my life that really caught me by
hmm.
surprise.
Did you, may I
Um,
just ask, did you already started to work as an oncologist before you got cancer, or
yes,
did the okay, wow, it's like your
yeah,
soul
yeah, yeah.
already knew. Oh my
Yeah, yeah,
God.
yeah. So I was actually, yes, I was practicing in oncology for maybe the maybe 4 or 5 years before that.
Hmm.
And then I was actually doing my training, my PhD in palliative care. So I was very aware of what that specific diagnosis entails. And it's a really it was a really interesting experience for me. Obviously, when I was diagnosed, it was a shock. It takes you by surprise.
Hmm.
Although in my life, I really had the sense that things were out of balance.
Hmm.
So before that, because in the medical field and especially in Portugal, there's still um, young doctors are still very much requested to do like crazy hours. And,
Yeah.
we used to do 36-hour shifts.
Exploded. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it was really crazy. And I knew my body was at a breaking point at some stage. So, of course, it was a surprise when I was diagnosed, but at the same time, it took me maybe I would say 1 or 2 days to really realize, okay, I think I know where this is coming from, and I sort of I don't want to be a victim in that. I just want to take this experience, if you want to call it like that, and learn as much as I can with it.
Hmm.
And I really want to say something, Ramona, because when people go through cancer, it's really a tough experience. So I don't want to minimize that.
I know. I know.
Um, it's really tough, and there's moments where you want to give up and just throw the towel. But for me, it was that stubbornness, I guess,
Yeah.
to really keep learning during the process and really engage with my own healing.
Yeah.
Uh, and that didn't mean I didn't have bad days. I did very much. And those were the teaching days as well.
Hmm.
Um, and and then I sort of kept going. But related to your question, as a doctor, when I was diagnosed, I remember I was admitted almost immediately to hospital, and I remember thinking, this is so weird because I'm here in a bed, which is really not my usual place.
Yes.
But but at the same time, I just felt, everything, the sounds, the movement, everything around me was so familiar because I had worked in those places and hospitals for so long, and just I kept thinking, oh my God, if you're here and you've never been to a place like this, it must be terrifying.
Yeah.
So I was very much aware of that, aware of that, hospitals can be very aggressive to the senses
Yeah.
when you're there for the first time and you're not familiar with the environment.
Mm.
So you sort of go through a journey in which, I was I remember going to, do a CT scan and I saw my name in the scan,
Yeah.
and I was just like, it was, I couldn't compute. It was just like, it
Was
flew
wait
me
a minute.
to
Is
actually see my name. Exactly.
oh
Exactly. So
gosh.
my brain was very lost in the middle of all of that. But, at the same time, I think it made me a better doctor as
Oh.
well, because, you know what people go through,
Mm.
or at least some people. I don't necessarily believe that I really know cancer because I've been through an experience. It was my experience, and there's many experiences with cancer,
Yeah.
but it gives you an idea of what being scared and what being through the process is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that makes you such a more elaborate and compassionate doctor. I do believe that it really happens to us for a reason. And as you say, uh, you felt home. You were in your environment. If you're not in that environment, because I know I used to work, I worked 1 year in a hospital and I didn't feel good at all.
right.
As a worker, when you enter in, I just felt this because I'm super sensitive to senses and I do feel that
Right.
heaviness and aggressiveness and I just couldn't be in that environment, which I
Yeah.
admire you and I admire every doctor who is, have the tenacity and perseverance of going through, and it happens to you because you are strong and you can do this. So I am thank you for your light and thank you for doing what you do. But I want to bring now this beautiful art of shamanism or shamanic rituals practices that you beautifully weaving in this wisdom into your work. I wanted to ask you, first of all, how did you got into shamanic rituals? This is when we met. And
Yeah.
how do you go by weaving in it into your daily practice as a medical doctor and also for your healing patients? Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about that. Now, the exciting
Absolutely.
part.
Yes. So I lived in Australia for about 7 years,
Mm,
and um, it was a beautiful experience. And sort of, I think Australia is very open to, alternative things,
mm,
if you wanna call it like that. And I started going through to these cacao ceremonies, and and they were beautiful, and it was really, at the time, the person who was organizing the cacao ceremonies, she had shamanic training,
mm,
and uh, it was so beautiful to me every time she did the invocations, and all the practices we sort of learn in our training.
mm,
I really felt connected to myself and to the world around me. And there was something in that that really brought confidence and a power, and, the sense that I was not alone.
mm, mm,
And for me, spirituality has been a path as well, because I don't necessarily see myself in any religion. Um, and I come from a very Catholic country,
mm,
and where people are not necessarily going to church every day, although some do, but it's very much, the Catholic presence is very much here in the society and weaved in our society. And um, I always felt a bit torn with that. I didn't necessarily see myself in the traditional in a traditional religion. So, it felt to me that when I was experiencing those ceremonies, that was terribly simple. It was just you connecting with nature and connecting with yourself and connecting with the world.
exactly.
And that just made sense to me.
Yeah.
So I kept that in the back of my mind. And then when I saw Beata's training, some people had told me about her, And it just made sense to me because it was my kind of spirituality.
Yeah.
And it's funny how you know, sometimes I say to my friends, I did this shamanic training, and people get really scared
They look at
what
you
are
like,
you
what?
doing with your life? Yeah,
Isn't it odd? I mean, why are we separating this spiritual work and this whole conventional medicine or even life? It's like this is who we are, right? It's the same with me.
yeah,
When I talk
yeah,
about it, it's like, oh, you're into woo woo woo. Like, come on. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
this this is every day you connect to ancestors, you connect to the earth, you connect to the sky. This is how we can weave in the spirit into our daily lives, right? And so
Yeah.
you weaving it into your, how do you weaving actually these ceremonial rituals into your conventional medical practice? How do you do that? I'm very
I
curious. I want to know.
Yes. Look, it's really for me at the moment because I'm really quite new in this, as you know. So I'm not an experienced practitioner at all. So I'm still trying to see what works with me. And so what I do, and one of the first things I implemented when I came from the training was just, you know, sitting in presence and before even having contact with people, just being with myself, grounding, you
Yeah.
know, just feeling my feet on the earth,
Mm,
making sure I'm present before I even see a person,
mm,
which I wasn't doing before. And I was terribly, I was struggling to see, you know, three people in a row, even because it was just too much. Every appointment with me takes like an hour, so I try very much to be present with the person.
mm.
But you know, 3 hours in a row, if you don't ground yourself, it's actually quite demanding on you.
Yeah.
And so I started with that, you know, just grounding. You know, simple things like washing your hands with presence
Yeah.
before anything.
Becomes a
And
ritual, right? It's like a ritual
exactly,
in your life. Yeah.
exactly, you know, just living in the ritual.
Mm,
And I always recall Beata saying that to us, you know, life becomes a ritual, and it's exactly that.
yeah.
And and then being in presence with people, and during my appointments, because it's a very it's clinical,
Mm,
and you know, I don't want to scare people away, especially if they're not connected with the shamanic arts. But you don't necessarily need to say this is shamanic, or
no, it's
it's really very simple. So we do grounding when we think it's the right thing to do in that particular setting.
mm,
And one thing that really changed was the way I look to people. So when I'm, you know, observing someone, I really take my time to be to to see before even touching.
mm,
And you know, what's the breath pattern?
mm.
How is this person presenting? Is it a scary look or a scared look, or is it, you know, is this person relaxed? Is this person receptive to touch? So all of
You,
these is, you know, it's really really simple. And then again, if you're going to touch someone, which I frequently do as part of the medical examination,
mm,
how are you touching people? Are you touching in presence? Are you paying attention how to the way their body reacts to your touch?
yeah.
Are you being careful? Are you respecting their boundaries? You know,
It's
it's small things, but I think it's really powerful. And I want to you know, my goal is that person leaves um my presence with, you know, at least some confidence and some, and a bit more relaxed, with a nervous system that it's relaxed and confident that things will go better.
yeah.
And And that's it.
That's everything. This is this little simple stepstones towards to actually
Yeah.
implementing these practices for you. You become this vessel and change because we've been taught to um, trust that unseen world, which is
Yeah.
not very much familiar into medicine studies. Like, if you
Yeah.
don't see it, it doesn't exist. This whole way of seeing and this
Yeah.
shamanic way of practicing is to become more and more sensitive to the unseen world. Do you believe that there is a future in the conventional medicine? Do
Yeah.
you feel like, okay, I know this is a stepstone towards to implement it yourself, and maybe one beautiful day it will change? How do you see it in the near future within the world of
Look, I
medicine?
think we cannot escape from it. I think if you think about even chronic illness at the moment, I think we as a society are profoundly disconnected from nature.
Mm,
We are completely disconnected from ourselves. And, rates of depression and anxiety are through the roof.
mm,
We don't spend any time in nature or very little.
mm.
And that has a real impact in our bodies. So I think more and more people are feeling that going back to nature and going back to themselves and going back to community, which is an interesting aspect we can actually discuss as well, it's probably the way to go. I think it will take some time, but
Mm,
I really see a future where that happens. And, I specialized in lifestyle medicine. And, lifestyle medicine has 6 pillars,
mm.
and and they recently updated these pillars. So there was one of them which was positive connections.
Yeah,
That was one of the pillars in lifestyle medicine, and now it was updated to connection, meaning that connection to nature is included, connection with others is included, but also connection um, to spirit.
yeah. Wonderful.
And
Yeah, this is amazing.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so medicine is getting there, but it will take some time to implement all these changes because we're very much um, geared towards taking pills and
Yeah.
and having quick fixes. But it's so wonderful how our body, we literally have hormones that respond to light and dark.
Yeah.
We produce certain substances in our body when we're close to trees. Our cortisol levels drop when we're in a forest.
Yeah.
So it's just so amazing how interconnected we are with nature.
Mm.
And we can try to replicate that, but we really can't.
Mm.
So I think that's the way, and I think people feel that's the way, but it will take some time, I guess.
Yeah, I really hope that we can collapse time. I do see
Yes.
in Belgium, they have started actually to have a whole development of the parts of the Erasmus Hospital. They do have a part of post-cancer where they're actually doing more of these practices like alternative. I've applied to go do shiatsu, yoga, breath work, sophrology. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think we are on the way. But as you say, maybe it takes some time. And I hope maybe each one of us who are in the field to promote that. And this is also one of my visions as a
Yeah.
visionary that I am
Yeah.
to create a better, healthy way of connecting to yourself, to
Yeah.
spirit, and to nature. So that
Yeah.
really aligning is so beautiful. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and it's really interesting that this field is drawing so many people from science, right?
Yes,
Like that traditionally wouldn't be involved in fields like this,
yes.
but we are. So
But
it's really beautiful.
I say always scientific people are very spiritual people. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't know yet. So Diana, it comes to most of the end of our podcast. I want to ask you a simple rite or ritual. And then maybe you can share with us, especially those who are maybe going through a tough time right now, those who are maybe sick and feeling unwell. How can you give them a little bit of advice? How,
Mm,
how can they, what are the rituals that they can use? What are the little things that help you, that can help them feel
yeah.
back into the wholeness, to come back into the essence? Would
I
you share?
really go back to simple things, Ramona, and this is really what helped me. You know, putting your feet on the grass every day
Mm,
and being next to nature as much as you can,
mm,
and you know, not being um, afraid of doing nothing, just you know, just listening and spending time with yourself, because that I felt it was a big thing for me. We always feel we need to be productive,
mhm.
but we're really not built to be productive. We're built to exist and to take in the world, and you know, it's really really simple, and just respect the rhythms of your body. Wake up when it's daytime, go to bed when it's nighttime, and breathe, you know. Yeah, you know, breathe deeply. We usually forget that as well. And it's, when I think about it, I think my advice, if I want to call it like that, it's really simple things that connect you with who you are, which is part of this planet and part of nature. Mm.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see what this unfolds for us in the future. Tell us where how we can find you. Do you do any of these practices beside your medical practice for the moment, or you just landing,
No,
I would say?
I'm just landing. I'm just landing still. I want to start to experience some practices in retreats because I host retreats as well, which
Okay.
um, and I started this year. Um, I have very much a trauma informed approach because I've been studying trauma as well,
Love.
and the relation with your biology and physiology. So I'm very much interested in implementing some of these practices as a way to regulate your nervous system as well.
Mhm.
But I'm still exploring. But yes, I can leave you my websites, and if you want to show it in the show notes, I'm really
Yeah.
happy to.
Tell us
Yeah,
about the retreat. Now I'm getting interested here.
you're curious about the retreat.
Yeah. You know me.
Uh, yes. So I have different retreats at the moment. So I have specific retreats for people who survived cancer and health professionals. So they're all in the same retreat, and I think it's a beautiful way of connecting. And those practices are really super simple. You know, again, connecting with nature,
Mm.
connecting with breath, connecting with body, connecting with each other, and it's a very much a resting safe space. And then I have some beautiful retreats that I'm really excited about with a colleague of mine. And we do retreats very much related with nervous system regulation and trauma. So yeah,
Yeah.
so those are sort of they have more depth, is more like it's usually more challenging as well, because you get to know parts of yourself that are a bit more challenging. But those are the retreats where I sort of incorporate more of this knowledge as well, because it's about regulating the nervous system and getting to know your nature.
That's wonderful.
So
That's
yeah,
I cannot wait to hear more about it because this is
yeah,
also something that I feel that is much more needed out there. really bringing in all these beautiful aspects of practice that we do into a setting where it's in nature and you can actually experience it. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Diana, for your light, for what
Thank you.
you do. And I'm so honored to know you. I am so happy. Thank you so much.
Same. Thank you so much, Ramona. It was such a
Sending you
pleasure.
much love and see you very soon.
See you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in and sharing this sacred space with us today. If today's conversation spoke to your heart and you'd like to explore more ways to regulate your nervous system and connect with your breath, I have created a full series of pranayama breathing exercises designed to help you calm, ground, and return to your center. You can find all these details and access the course through the link in the show notes. And also, if you'd like to connect with Dr. Diana Ferreira, learn more about her work, or join one of her beautiful retreats, you'll also find her website linked below. For now, her offerings are in Portuguese, but she was working on bringing in a little bit more English version soon. And who knows, maybe we'll create something together in the very near future. Until then, take gentle care of yourself. Remember that healing is not always about curing, it's also about remembering your own wholeness. Thank you for listening. Thank you for breathing with us. And I'll see you in the next episode.